understand. Leave. Leave my house.
We should do more economic transport. If we don't do so, Nigeria will see people are importing.
Mario, I want you to understand.
You don't have. I don't want to understand. Leave. Leave my house. And don't ever come back here. Ruben, how could you do this to me? Huh? You mean all this time we've been together? All this time? And you didn't tell me you was married?
We've gotten a call saying that your friend is missing.
Yes.
And when was this that she had called you?
I spoke to her last Tuesday,
At what time?
7 p.m.
Did you know where she was when she had called you? Like, what was going on in the background? Did you hear anything?
She spoke to her, she was trying to tell me someone was chasing her, but she didn't actually say.
Spiritual life, their public conduct in March being Father of the Year. We still make them Father because there is a rally. The society, Liberia has lost the moral voice from the pulpit. So nobody has any remorse hiding the country any longer. Nobody. And we should not, this generation, we should not allow the doings of our parents' generation to hate us so much that we'll hate our children's generation after us. We can't afford to do it. We should not afford to do it. Let's wake up and change our country and the direction we are taking. That is why I love it when I hear people now asking questions, including some of my friends who founded CDC and insisted nothing will change in their life until CDC take power over with George Weah. I hear them asking today, how did we get here? I said that from 2004. Now, when people start to ask us that question, it means we are hit rock bottom. It's time to wake up and start to rise again. So, yes, we support our direct dealer and support the war and economic transport establishment. We must punish people. The era of people working with impunity must have a beginning to an end. President Weah and his asset declaration. One of the things that Liberia is lacking right now, which is key, it may come across as being very simple. The symbolism of leadership is lacking in Liberia. Liberians, like the human nature, we believe in following the leader. George Weah became president, he didn't write any policy for people to dress like him. He just wore one thing, the corporal suit, and everybody just wearing purple suit. They following the leader. In fact, purple suit became like a uniform style for citizens, including those in Philadelphia. He didn't write the policy. He didn't impose on anybody. People love the leader and they just follow the leader. And George Weah wakes up 5:30, 6 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday to go practice football, to keep in shape, and I love that. This is the same George Weah who gets up 9:30, 10 o'clock Monday to Friday to go to work and reach at the office 11 and leave from there 3. What kind of example he said? People follow him. The symbolism of leadership is lacking. This is a president who entertains people to his Jamaica resort compound from Friday to Sunday evening. If George Weah as president said to people, don't come here from Friday to Sunday. Friday to Sunday, I will be on my farm. Don't come to me even on my farm unless I call you for something important. From Friday to Sunday weekend, I want to hear people on their farm. What did the minister then was that doing? George Weah refused to declare an asset in keeping with laws. It scared Joel from declaring her asset because to do it is an affront to the leader. It made no cabinet minister declare the asset because to do it means you are an affront to the leader. The symbolism of leadership lacking. That is why when I became senator with your blessing, I declared my asset before entering office. And CDC got angry. They said they don't declare the wrong asset. So I said, okay, bring the right asset so we can compare it with my wrong asset. They don't have none because they declare nothing. President declare asset. President said, I can't declare my asset and publish it because my family security. I get my son. I got my daughter. Minister, Samuel 12 get child and so Samuel 12 will follow the demons. So we don't have now you see, in closing on the 5%, you see, when you have a leader who does not respect the rule of law, when you have a leader who does not understand what democracy is, when you have a leader who believes that everybody should worship him, it's troubling. Talk of corruption. How do you fight corruption in the absence of a strong judiciary, independent judiciary? George Weah became president and said there should be no judiciary, only the structure. I don't believe in the judiciary we have now because no men and women of courage in that place. The ones that are there, George Weah is successfully weeding them out. And when I said earlier that the president alone is not the problem of the country, when George Weah wanted to dismantle the Supreme Court bench and kill the essence of the judiciary, to remove Kabina Janet, who did he use? Plenty of people in the legislature. Eh? When you impeach Kabina Janet, a Supreme Court justice, at that level, the way Kabina Janet was removed from office, you are telling other members of the bench, and you know, they say when hunchback man is being buried, people will hunch back and go see how they bury him because they know that how they will be buried. When you have the Chief Justice of Liberia made to preside over an unconstitutional kangaroo hearing based on somebody's ego and dislike for another person's adherence to the rule of law, and the Chief Justice knows that that process is unconstitutional, and he presides over it, he knows. Right now, anything President Weah wants from on the bench, he will get it. When you remove a Supreme Court justice like that, you're telling the lower court justices or judges to rule in keeping with the impulse and direction of politicians, or else they will remove them too. So the magistrate who President Weah then went to, for them to get a rate of search and seizure to go loot and vandalize Costa radio station, the magistrate then gave them a rate. Because magistrate serve at the pleasure of the president. If the Supreme Court justice can be removed through a process where spineless men in the legislature, especially the Senate, will vote against their conscience to remove somebody who fighting to uphold the rule of law, then imagine the magistrate. The magistrate, if I issue the rate before you reach the office, you won't be removed. The magistrate who was courageous to say the closure of Roots FM was unconstitutional, he made that ruling 12 o'clock in the afternoon. 6 o'clock, they sacked him. 6 o'clock, he was out of office. You expect any serious investment and investor to go to Liberia? Good money is always in front of bad environment. When investors know that their investments are at jeopardy at the hands of powerful politicians who dupe them, they ain't taking their money in that environment. And that's the kind of environment we have. When you have an environment where the president, the leader of the country, has complete dislike for transparency and accountability, corruption can thrive. Follow the leader. George Weah became president, and 3 months he broke down his property. In 3 months, Nathaniel McGill, the chief of staff to the president, who could not pay his rent 2 months before they appointed him chief of staff, bought a house over $200,000 US cash. He followed the leader. But we have an opportunity. It's coming. 2020. When you put the same people back, it means you let what happening. Simple. The matter is not in your hand. We will join you. We'll go from county to county and tell the people, you see the other senator, and I'm a colleague, don't vote for him because he's bad. Oh yes. We want numbers that will overwhelm so that you can go to bed knowing you have people in your interest and the legislature. Anything short of that. Anything short of that. Anything short of that. We're running into more problems. And I wish we'd done. Sorry for being long with my answer, but I left to speak it from my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. I think, a lot of hands. But before I start to recognize all of the hands, if you're just coming in, I want to say welcome to an interaction with Honorable Darius Dillon that is organized by Friends of Dillon. And there are two purposes for which we organize this event. One is for him to interact with all of us and tell us thank you for our moral, financial support to his election bid, and also for a project that he has earmarked as his signature project for his time as senator while he's there. So he wants to help our disadvantaged Liberians that are quote-unquote termed as Zogos and Zogres. Women, they call them Zogres, right? Or Zogis, or whatever the terminology is. But the idea is to help these young people, to get them detox and make them productive citizens. So Honorable Dillon have taken on this initiative, and we're trying to help him. So while you are asking your questions, we're still asking you to please help us to achieve this big goal. And for me, as a friend of Dillon, not a Liberty Party person, I've already demonstrated by committing $500 towards the initiative. I want to motivate all of you so that you know that this is very important to all of us. So I've given you $500 towards the initiative, and I want you to please help us. We need to do this. So let me go ahead and recognize people now. My honorable VP, I will not ignore her. And so VP, you number one. She is the official of lab. So let me look on this side again. You? And then way in the back there, Mr. Sorry, way in the back there, I see you. So Madam VP first, then you, and then Sorry in the back there. So Madam VP, go ahead. Please, time. I'll take you next. Time. So, yes. Go ahead. The microphone, wild show. Can you tell me what else? I will take the microphone. Okay, good.
We want to say thank you to our senator. Welcome to PA, to Pennsylvania. My question is, I have been looking and reading the dual citizen bill. That's something that is on my mind. I want to know your stand on the dual citizen. Because we want to support the project. There are a lot of projects that come to us in Pennsylvania that we decide to support, we want to be part of. But then, when I look at the dual citizen bill that, that is in the country, there is some problem. So I want you to tell me what is your stand on the dual citizen bill. The next thing is,
What is the problem? So I can go.
well, you have read the bill, you have seen the bill neglects us. So I want to know your stand on that bill. The next thing is, I have been to multiple town hall meetings, and what I hear from those town hall meetings is disunity. And for me, it's disheartening because everybody come and preach their own message. Everybody come and talk about their own. We want to know how now can we unite. Forget about the opposition, forget about the CDC, forget about everything, and move this country Liberia forward. Because there is too much disunity and there is too much self-interest. My last thing, I want to support this project. This particular project that you have is good because I'm a social worker. This is the work we're doing in America. But is this project going to give you glory or is it for the nation? Thank you.
Oh. Okay, so you next.
Thank you, Mr. Dale, for coming to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. I got two short questions for you. Our children that we call the so-called Zukus, right? I wanted you to tell us where did they get that name from? And our children that we give them arms and we have them to vote for us, we distribute $25 US. Where did they get that name from, Zuku? Can we reconsider the names, please? And the second question I got for you, from 1979 until now, the Red Riot, the coup, the war, where has Liberia gone? What is happening with Liberia? Because, some of us go to Liberia nearly every year. What is wrong with Liberia? Not Liberians are wrong with Liberia.
Thank you. I'm sure you loud enough for all to hear you from over there, my man. You young man, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Mohamed Suarez. I have a question. First, I want to commend the senator for the initiative. I think it's commendable. But my thing is, in Liberia, we have issue with sustainability plan. That's a major problem. We do things for political points. This initiative, according to Senator Zilon, has fed almost other than 15 counties. So, my recommendation is, why can't you put it on the floor to the Senate to come up with a proposition that there's going to be an allocation for this initiative, rather than you soliciting support here for you to start our foundation, Lrtn Foundation. Why if tomorrow there's no support for it? What happened to it? Or why if tomorrow you're not senator no more? So that's my recommendation. And my question is...
That was a question.
No, recommendation.
Well, go ahead.
To put on the floor for,
You said why, so that question, well, go ahead.
Alright, question recommendation.
Good.
Yeah, my next question is the dual citizenship issue. I think my sister talked about it, I want to be more clear about it. According to one of the propositions, a natural born Liberian can be a citizen of another country, but he or she cannot qualify for elected position or other appointed positions such as Associate Justice and Chief Justice. And Senator Dillon supported that bill, according to one of the live shows. I want to know because most Liberians were affected during the war. They were forced to leave the country and find homes in other countries. Those Liberians are citizens in America or other part of the world. Don't you think that was disservice to other Liberians who was forced against their own will during the war to leave the country and settle in other countries? but now they can't go back to be elected in their own country because of proposition from the Senate.
Thank you. I will deal with the YouTube. Shortest possible time, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Any state I go to, if I'm not asked about dual citizenship, I know the question I'm not started yet. Yeah. Sir, let me start with the lady. This program about rehabilitating our brothers, our friends, our loved ones, is no intent for political self-glorification. It is something that we're passionate about. Those people are human beings. The humanity in us. Since 1997, nothing has been done about that population is growing. Something got to shed light on it. You know, by the time we said $15,000, and we're taking only $5,000, and we're giving the rest back to the county, the Liberian government started talking about harmonization of salary. We shed the light, and then it became a national discussion for national action. If the national government, who told us that the government know that we get our underprivileged, challenged population? The government knows. But they use them for political tools. We want to give light to the situation and help rescue as many as we can. And if that will cause the government to come take over, so be it. It's not about who takes the credit. Let it just be done. For the country and people. Let it just be done. But while the government is dragging its feet, the government knows there exists honor-earning government, like I said. They chose to put fence around the graveyard. Honor Georgia government gave them $5,000 during elections so they can vote for your candidate. $25 for one load of marijuana. And you get it, man, $5,000, you know how much low, you know, rehabilitated mind, giving skills, giving tools to make money and live an honorable and decent life. Then it will help to grow the country and the people. So it's not about political glorification, but for God in heaven's sake, I'm not a reverend, I'm a politician. I think when people can lack political correctness, they're finding how to fine-tune their responses to things. Anyway, if rehabilitating one person will give me political glory, thank God. But I'm not doing it for the purpose of getting political glory, no. I'm doing it because the humanity in us. To serve humanity. That's all. Where Zogo came from? They came from child soldier, war, during the Taylor administration. We used to call them Don Bosco. You see, we think changing their name or the branding will solve the problem. It doesn't. Don Bosco boys, because the Catholic Church were operating a technical stuff to rehabilitate these people and give them some skills. So they used to call it Don Bosco Training Center somewhere on the Matadi area. So trying to take them from the street to carry them for rehabilitation. So they used to call it Don Bosco boys. But when the Catholic Church in Liberia started to reduce support to those kind of programs, the government didn't take advantage to have a national program. My people, sometimes I can be long with my answer, but sorry. Some people been out of the country too long. They know what really happening there. You don't allow me to tell you. The Ministry of Health was called the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare will always call him or herself Minister of Health. Never put the social welfare there. So the whole department was just dead. Just like you have the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. The other Eugenians that are over there believe they're only there for talking, so they say they are minister of information. You don't hear them talk about cultural affairs and tourism. So the way the minister thinks, that's how he refers himself to himself, and that's how he treats the minister. So what am I saying here? We have the Ministry of Gender, Women, and Children Protection, and now we added the social welfare component to the ministry. The Minister of Gender believes that our ministry is only for women to head, number one, and for them to issue condemnation statements when a woman of status has been wronged, or one big personality is going to Liberia and has to do with women and children affairs. Then they buy a lapa that resembles itself and put it on rural women to line the street to welcome this big international dignitary. And then the minister and the deputies are the ones who are supposed to come to all the international conferences and put their name tied in front of them representing Liberia. That's all. No program for the social welfare. No program. So we say, let's do something with the Data Foundation. Why didn't I do it before? There are times you want to take advantage of a pulpit. I'm taking advantage of this pulpit that you gave me to rescue small people so that you can share it. Someone put on the floor something about Zogo. We're our colleagues. All know that there's Zogo. Next year, October 20th, second Tuesday, the Constitution says we will hold election for 15 senators, including me. Next year, October, we will. Let me not say May. We will not hold election because leaders look at the budget this year and refuse and failed and neglected to put anything in that budget to start the mobilization for next year's constitutional election. So next year, October, we will violate the Constitution in the name of no money. So we're going to hold election on the second Tuesday of October next year. On the second Monday of October next year, knowing fully well that we will not hold the election, I will resign as senator. I will not sit in that office one day unconstitutionally. No way. It will just fight to uphold the Constitution. I don't want 5 cents from that office unconstitutionally. The day the government found the money to fill the vacancy, occasioned by my resignation, I will be on that ballot with your support, will win again, but I will not be in that office unconstitutionally. And the reason I'm doing it is to compel the government for us to do the right thing. For us to do the right thing. So when we pour on the floor, all in the legislature, in the government, we know that there's no God. For God in heaven's sake. Hey God. Opposition and ruling party. My sister, you say when we come here, we try to dress ourselves in terms of making ourselves look fine and everybody else ugly. You make sense, that's true. But even the Bible says you must discern, you must have a discerning spirit to know who's genuine or not. Who's genuine or not. For us, doing early administration, UP people and CDCS, we could sit in the same club and drink from the same bottle, the same glass. We will pay one another way, each other. We will share. Under this current administration, Even I had to walk around as a jobless person because my name could not be on any institution payroll. They will go after that institution because the current administration said once you do not prostrate to George Weah in the name of opposition, you must die. In fact, they say they will deconstruct you. They will make it. You are to crawl. So I will announce to people that I'm officially unemployed, so they can know what they are working small. Just imagine I can go to work, just so they can know what they are working. Thank God for you. You put me somewhere where they can do nothing of me. You have a country, my sister, where when opposition makes good suggestions, Mr. Cummings of ANC made recommendation on the economy. The executive marshal officially responded and told him to go sell Coca-Cola. Councillor Charles Walker Bromsky, who the current government today refers to as a legal luminary, while he was living, he gave a scholarly legal advice on the removal of cabinet journal. They told him to go make a garden in Grandma's garden. They will take no advice. They will take no suggestion. We ask the government in good faith, in the interest of the country, not to do Lrtn and Iboma deal. The president referred to us as enemy of the state. Our friends here in Philadelphia, citizens, they joined George Weah to call us enemy of the state. When we say Lrtn deal, I've never heard any country borrow from an individual. Lrtn, that one man get his money. The one man is not recognized by global financial institutions. You don't transact with an individual on a bilateral level. George Weah decided to do it. Citizens who get master's degree agree with George Weah because they love him over the country. And when we said no, it was wrong, they called us enemies of the state. Where is Lrtn deal today? No citizens can pronounce the word Lrtn. They shouldn't. Including you in Philadelphia. We said, hello, the second deal was the deal they call Iboma. The same. In fact, I made it simpler. I say, you see Iboma, if you can hear Gulemi, the sound of Iboma, again, you hear Ebola. When you touch it, God will leave you die. Leave Iboma alone. You say you enemy of the state, you hate the man. Where is Iboma today? Dead. My sister, we are hoping to work with the president. George Weah is president of Liberia. And in keeping with Article 5050 of the Constitution, the president is the head of government. I am a subject of government under one branch. But when the government comes together as a unit, George Weah is my president and he is the head. George Weah says I'm his enemy. He leads the group to call me vacation student, vacation senator. But when I say I will short circuit your stay in that place 2023, then they hate the man. You want me to win in 2020, that means you won't win in 2023. Dual citizenship. Dual citizenship. Dual citizenship. For Liberia. Look, my people. For the time, every one of us under this group and those following were born. The law as it is. does not allow for dual citizenship for adults. None of us in this room, none of us in the legislature now wrote that constitution. Now we are there, we want to change it for Liberians. Once you were born a Liberian, you must always be a Liberian. That's the first thought we have. So we signed a proposition. Yombi Kanga Lawrence, Oscar Cooper, in fact, the legislature, the Senate, in majority, we signed a proposition to say, right now the door is completely closed. Let's open the door halfway. Study the situation. If it proves good for the country, we can open the door completely later on. So what we have done, imagine Darius Dillon, born Liberian, born in Grand Bassa County, sugarcane farm, Joe Porter, came to America, took up citizenship, wants to go home to Liberia. He got to go to DC for visa to go home. You want to go home, you got to pay for visa to go home in keeping with the current law. The proposition we signed, we say, while you were born a Liberian citizen, you took up citizenship of another country for whatever reason, should not deprive you of your Liberian citizenship. You don't need visa to go home. The law as it is, you were born in Liberia, your parents get property, you went to school there, everything about you is Liberian. Then you came here, situation caused you to take up citizenship. The current law as it is says, you're not Liberian again, so you can't own land. You can't own property. You can't inherit your people's property. The proposition we signed say, you will have right to own land, you can also inherit your people's property. The proposition we signed to open the Liberian citizenship to Liberian born, whether you came here and took up citizenship, or whether you were born in America as a baby, but onto Liberian parents, and American law confer citizenship on you, you don't need to renounce it. You can still be American and Liberian. You can go do almost anything in Liberia besides being president and vice president. There's about 1 million Liberians outside of Liberia living in the diaspora, most of them in America. About half of that number or more are taking up citizenship. My people, that 21 persons can be minister. You can get all, you can know all the book. If the president wants you to be minister, you will never be minister. Because somebody won't be minister, that is not guaranteed. We won't deny everybody the right to citizenship. Why should we deny that old lady or that baby or that middle-aged person their right to citizenship because somebody thinks they may be minister? To be minister is left to a president. So we restricted ministerial jobs at the top. You can be deputy, you can be assistant, you can be director, you can be employed in government. But to be minister, we restricted it. And we left window open. If you took on citizenship of another country where you were born a Liberian, you're still a Liberian and you are recognized to be citizen of that other country. When that Liberianness get in you and you won't be president of Liberia, the window will left open, relinquish that citizenship that is imposing the restriction on you and go run for president of Liberia. Anything short of that, leave it alone. So there's sentiment in the diaspora that we don't love our people, so we're restricting them. It is not true. We Liberians, generally, we hold the view that Liberia was founded on Christian principles. If that is true, which I hold true to, the Bible says to me, Jesus Christ said, one man can serve two masters. You want to be president of Liberia, relinquish the citizenship that imposes a restriction on you, then the law in Liberia allow you to run. You can't be citizen here and citizen there, then you want, no, we're not lying. If I want to cause people to withdraw their support from some of us, well, so it be. This is with no arrogance. It is for all of us good. So somebody who want to be minister tomorrow, that is not very likely, should not be the reason all Liberians must be denied their right to citizenship and other privileges and opportunities that they can benefit from as citizens of Liberia. Everybody must be citizen. Some people may be ministers. We hope we've spoken to the dual citizenship issue because it's a sensitive thing. If you even know how to explain it, you can lose. Yeah, the person get there. In fact, that person long because they also because I don't know what they know how to explain it. And you see how yourself when you came here, when you were asking the question, I saw you were there with me. Help me explain it. I tell you very much.
She went out the flat.
You know, if there was ever a time where I, Morris Kumar, wanted to be a third grade student of today, I really won't be a third grade student today. I won't be a high school dropout. I mean, honestly, that man is a serious intellectual. Let's be honest. But, I mean, there are some issues that, you know, anyway, we'll leave that up another time. So let's go across the hall again and see. The lady in the back there, not you, chief. The lady in the back there. You are looking behind you with a hat on your head. You're number one. I mean, I gotta stay in the back. I can see you. Right. Over John Wesley, I see you. Andrew. So we'll do 1, 2, we're going like this. So you gotta be patient. Everybody will have the time. Let me patient. Oh, I didn't see you, Brazil. Okay, so Brazil, you next. Yeah, go ahead, my sister. 2 minutes. We gotta be very, fast with time. But please, I beg you, don't forget. We got this big thing here. You gotta do small thing about it. Very good. You have a senator said? In fact, I'm gonna bring basket. The man will carry around. Everybody will post on the inside. I know how you want to do it. But go ahead. The total cost of the budget for the project. That the question she asked me, Senator.
Secondly, will this project be decentralized that people in the rural area, because we got Zogos in the rural area?
Got Zogos and Zogres in the rural counties. How do you address yourself to that, Senator?
Will they benefit from this project?
Go ahead. Talk.
I'm not looking for the people are going live.
The last but not the least, it has to do with the government. Do you guys have any plan of decentralizing the government of Liberia? Right now, everything is centralized within Monserrado County. If somebody in Lofa, where there is bad road and they want to travel, they have to come to Monrovia. Even if they don't have family to sleep with or get passport, they will be forced to do that. So I would like to know whether you guys have any plan of decentralizing the government. If I want passport, I don't have to go Maryland. If I want visa to go Liberia, I can stay right here, send my document, and they will mail it to me, or maybe I go to New York, which is closer, or somewhere else.
Okay.
So I would like to know.
So, thank you. Very good questions. On the issue of decentralization, maybe I can address that small. There are issues of that. We've done a lot of that during Lrtn. There were about 16 centers set up in all the county capitals. They were giving out birth certificate, driver license, all the small services. I mean, if somebody was here in Liberia 2015, 2016, you'll probably know that. Yeah, there were centers set up in all of the counties where they were giving out some services. Not the passport. I will not say the passport, but there are some other issues. Driver license, ID card, and all that extra stuff. Who was in the back there working on Comrade Wilson? Go ahead, Comrade. You gotta be audible. See, you'll be president in the community there, you gotta talk.
The veteran. Yeah, good evening, Honorable Senator. Yeah, my name is Joe Wilson, and I just want to thank you for coming to Philadelphia and explaining to us. And I'm really impressed by the way you explained regarding the dual citizenship proposition. I think that was great. And for those who don't also know that, in the proposition, you can also go back home and get elected in the legislature, except that the law doesn't require that you can become president pro tem. And I got that from Honorable Richard Kuhn. I don't know if you can confirm that. So, but I'm interested in the project. You know, my colleagues share light on the sustainability aspect of the project. But this is my concern. We have seen series of projects in similar kind of fashion. I buy the idea is good, but I'm more interested in how sustainable you want this project to be. There are individuals like the former General Bodnicki. He already has similar rehabilitation program ongoing, including many other Liberians. Is it not a good thing for you to work along with these people where they already have existing structures, but they are receiving minimum support? Is it not a good idea that you bring those people together and work with them so that what they are already working with, our support will go to a structure that is already in existence, that is ongoing, instead of starting something new from the ground? I'm willing to contribute to that aspect. You know, okay. On the second thing, I just want you to explain to us what exactly is your diaspora plan, because the diaspora constitutes a great, very significant to the economy of the country. What is your diaspora plan? Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Somebody here recognize. Yeah, Andrew.
Honorable Delon, thank you so much for showing up on the June 17th protest. I was one of those. But my question to you and my suggestion to you is, you are anti-corruption man, which of course you are doing a great job. But how can we get rid of corruption? You guys in the Senate, in the ministerial position, your wives and children live here, and you guys have to take money from Liberia to send it here. How can we get rid of the corruption?
Thank you very much. Honorable Senator, you want to keep going or you want? Okay.
Oh, the president doesn't want. Thank you. Let me make it clear. My son lives here in America, Minnesota. My son been here since 2004. I got a letter 3 months ago. Since 2004. I got a letter 3 months ago. In Minnesota, a young girl asked me what the education like for children. And I said, what's the school my daughter attends? And they asked how much. The school I sent my daughter to in Liberia is Mary Loving Brown School of Excellence. And we pay $1,200 plus every month, every year, US dollars. But then again, I had to make a disclaimer that my daughter been in our school. She's 10 years old. She been in our school from the time she started school, kindergarten. And I was just elected 3 months ago. So it's not on my election and being in office that sent my daughter to that school. And when you say your wife and children, let's say the wife in terms of man or the husband in terms of woman. Most times when people say you're elected, you're saying your children. My son is 28 years old. A man coming married, he running your own life in America. Because I'm senator, I can't send my son to come live in Liberia. He's man on his own. He's independent. The child that is below 18, that is understandable. My daughter with me in Liberia, she's 10 years old, she's going to Liberia school. The day the government school students got in the street to demonstrate, to call government's attention, to pay their teachers, so that the teachers can go back to the classroom, I went in the street to be with the students. Because as a public policy person from the legislature, we should do all we can to make sure that the students of the ordinary people, the children of the ordinary people, get education and quality education. We should pay the teacher. My daughter was in school when somebody's daughter or other people's children were out asking us to do our job for the teachers to return to class to teach them. And so I went to identify with the students. The government looking for any way to arrest me. Yeah. In fact, the government has made it public. The Solicitor General said anybody calling themselves senator go join demonstration will arrest you. They didn't let it come on me. So during that day, they went and reviewed the video almost 20 times to see how I was walking, why I thought anything looked like it's inciting to come and arrest me. But the thing here is, we can't be serving ourselves and not serving the people. By the time you get elected, your wife, your children, honor your domain, now find a place to live in America. That's not what the people elected you for. I'm senator. My toe nail hurting, you put me on plane and send me to Ghana for treatment or to India or America. You think I would do anything about JFK? We want to fight. Our role is to fight. In fact, we should be going to JFK. So that when the treatment we need there, not there, we'll put it there. Then when we put it there for ourselves, then the ordinary people will see it there, enjoy it, and benefit from it. So yes, but then again, all of these things take courage from the leader. The leader is not leading by example. Yeah, Mr. Martin Kohler here, he's the chief of staff in my office. I call him chief, bossman. I treat him as a professional. We joke with all my staff. When they go to work 8 and leave on their 5, nobody dare not do that. I lead by example. They know my principles. I tell them, too much eyes on this office. Even your boyfriend and girlfriend business may reflect on this office. Conduct yourself in such a way that it reflects positively on this office. They're looking for me by enemies. They may find you. And when they find you, there's a likelihood they will find me. My brother is being held in jail by President Weah just because he is Darius Dillon's brother. The police report says my brother acted in self-defense in an incident that he would have lost his life with 3 men jumped on him 1 o'clock in the morning, coming from his car to get his telephone and his reading glasses. The police report narrates everything about self-defense. But they charged my brother with murder. So Dillon. And every time they're reporting that Oliver Dillon case coming out, they can say the brother of Senator Darius Dillon. They're finding every means to attach me to that. So we know it. What we do reflects on us. And we got to do it in a way that we serve the country and the people rather than serving ourselves. So, yeah, it takes bold courage from the leadership to do these things. And until then, we're in a circle, sadly. Somebody asked about the budget for this program. I think at this time, I will want to pause on the questions so that Mr. Martin Kohler can do a short PowerPoint presentation. We get a full understanding of what we're seeking to do, the costing and everything about this rehabilitation program. The suggestion that we should work with other existing structures, we'll look in that direction. This thing is not about, it was started by Dillon. But you see, anytime we touch something that the country starts to look at, and you in the international community start to look at, the government can run to go fix it. That's what they call sharing the light. Martin Kohler received a video from the government, Lrtn, the library rehabilitation, resettlement, and all the pending areas. The institution responsible or should be responsible for rehabilitation. The government, the head of that institution, sent my chief of staff a video 3 nights ago while we are here, that the government now informed me to launch a program for Zogos. And the carrier Sir Joseph from Monserrato, my colleague, to go launch that program, so to give face to the government. So they sent it to him. I said, I understand that. They sent it to you because they know you will let me see it, that they come and do something about Zogo. Once the government take charge, to do something about the Zogos, and we can fight to rehabilitate them and make them productive, I don't care for the credit. It's not about the credit. It must just be done. We want to share the light so that the government will all do the right thing and do it for our people. The budget, the costing, everything. Martin will do that presentation very soon. Somebody talk about decentralization. Decentralization comes in the form of a kind of government that you're running. Right now we have a unitary form of government. It's centralized. When we talk about decentralization, we talk about federal form of government. Maybe there's some other ways around it without having to be a federal form of government. They're taking all the law, you know. We are an interesting country, my people. Unless we are innovative, we got vision, we get the courage to do what is right, the country will continue to suffer. Yet it's a country that exports raw rubber, the latest, from Firestone. We exporting latest. We importing chicle. Chicle is made out of rubber. We exporting the raw material, we importing the finished product. We are exporting iron ore, and we importing baby pin for Dabo. We exporting timber, and we importing toothpick. No factory, no industry, because the leaders who signed those concessions don't have the courage to say 20% of our raw material you want to export out of here and do the factory here. You know, when you do timber factory in Liberia where they can do furniture that have international standard, quality, there are 2 other or 3 other things that can follow. When you do the furniture, the waste product from producing the furniture can do ceiling tile. And so it means ceiling tile factory will come. The waste product for doing ceiling tile can do carpet bulk and tissue. So that you get tissue factory. So just by having a timber industry, a lot of other things can happen. But we're exporting everything and importing nothing. So to decentralize, Grandmaster County, you take iron ore from Bon County, from bombing. And bombing hill is in a hole. So we take the resources, raw material from the county, and then central government in Monrovia enjoy everything. Until we decentralize some things, we ain't going anywhere. Everything centralized in Monrovia. Superintendent appointed by President. Town chief appointed by President. I said, the executive marshal can see, please, the President of Liberia has appointed clan chief. We're going anywhere, unless a whole generation of thinkers take charge. And we pray God for us to be that light, join few forces, so that we can carry on, so it can give you reason to believe and hope again that if there is a Nomli Kanga Lawrence, or there is a Dylan or Oscar Cooper, there are more people far better than some of us in or out of Liberia. But we're not finding them. We're looking for celebrators. We're looking for people who get public and popular names. During the election, some people say they will not vote for Charles Bronson because he's running made in fun. Some people, you know, I was like, do the people understand what's at stake? You take the bread and butter issues of the country and turn it to beauty passion. Some people say, I can't vote for Brodsky because he's running, may he find Lola Samagwan. Okay, so we went to election. We elected George Weah. George Weah is well built, handsome. He can win Mr. Gentleman Award. We got Jewel, very beautiful girl. She can win Miss World. The economy is separate thing. That's not the facial beauty that can cause the economy to grow and grow the life of the people and develop the country. It's your innovative skills, your leadership. That's what it takes. And it would take a generation like that to get us there. I think I answered the question, right? Thank you. Let's do it. Now, please. I'm talking. No, I'm not the MC or the moderator. So don't call my name. I will not recognize you. I got no authority. We're trying to stay to the rule. Don't make me pay me. Yeah, I understand. At this stage, while we came to interact and answer your questions as we know how, we may not answer the question pleasing to you, but we'll answer it as we know it. Allow us to pause so that we'll do the PowerPoint presentation, which is not more than 5 minutes. And then allow me to do the offering. Yeah, we're going to do some rally. We came to rally your support. We also have a cash app number so that for our project, to begin a pilot project that we'll talk about. So at this time, Mr. Martin Kula, what is it? Bosman, by your time.
Not more than 3 minutes. Okay, so this is not more than. Okay, so we'll just be very brief. The senator have given the basic overview and the basic concept behind the entire project. But yeah, let me start from here, where you have who are those are we looking to target in what we are doing. So two group of people. The first group of people are those that are drugs and substance abuse, or young people or elderly people that are in particular Mosquito County, but like somebody said, we'll be looking up to the other counties. But for, as a starter, we're going to be beginning with Mosquito County. The next group of people, there are some, because when you see the entire facility that we have put together, that we are proposing, there's a technical school. There's a technical school that will be built there, and that school will be able to take in more than what the dormitories can really take in. So the dormitory will be taking around 200 persons, but the school will be able to take in around 400 to 500 students. So there's a second component of our students that we'll be looking at, and these are people who either drop out of school because of lack of fees, because of pregnancy, and because of other type of abuse, and that need skills training, who are not ready to go back to our school. So first the drugs and substance abuse, and then the next slide. Okay, so you see, Dylan visit to one of the biggest ghettos in Monrovia. This is the Central Street Ghetto. Those who've been in Monrovia recently, if you go there, you will see the facility. So you see him interacting with those that we call Zobo. Yeah, come on. So this is the second group of people that we are targeting: street children, and then young people and people who drop out of school. Yeah, come. So okay, so this is how our activity is going to look like. Okay, so I wanted for you to see this part of it. Where did it start? So a lot of people ask that question. It started from, of course the war brought about most of these things. They came in DDR. So you see, young children, they are being drugs and they have guns. And what have you, so that's where we started from. And then you see DA or DEA is making arrests every day. And these are where actually most of our people are living. You see, this is the Central Street gray area, right? This is the gray area. You see most of them there, and they take out those dead bodies, take out valuable from on them, and then actually live in those various tombs that are built there. And you know. Okay, so for the activities here, in the pilot project have 3 activities. The first activity is to establish a treatment and recovery unit. So for the pilot project, we're going to be renting a facility, and this is why I said that I've been stressing on that he wanted to make sure that as we leave from here, we can go and start doing something immediately. So we already have started discussing with the owner of the facility. Our target is to do almost 50, but he's saying even if we can start with 10, 15, 20 person, we should start with what then. So this treatment and recovery unit will be looking at housing for them, or counseling, and then treatment or detoxification facility for what then. So the second activity will be the vocational and then technical training. So in that same facility, we want to find few rooms there and then conduct some training. I was going to say something quickly about this training. Currently in Liberia, you may do some electrical work, plumbing work, carpentry work. We should be able to give you job easily. But most of the people in Liberia now, sometimes if you get electrical problem or plumbing problem, you prefer buying food. Things are very tough. So what we decided to do, in addition to giving them this skill, is that if we're teaching you anything about electrical or about plumbing, we will teach you agriculture. So that even if you can find plumbing or electrical job, you'll be able to go and then till something in a garden, make something in a soil, and then get something to eat. We are doing everything possible because somebody talked about sustainability. So we are trying to study all of the different dynamics to make sure that after we have rehabilitated them, they don't go back to the abuse life. Yes. So in the third activity, if it is possible, we want to get small funding. So if we train you to be carpenter, we should be able to give you at least $200 or buy some tools for you so that it can be a kind of startup. So you talk about sustainability, you talk about continuity. These are all of the possibilities that we are looking at here. So similarly to for the real project, in the facility that you're going to see, they're going to follow similar pattern where we construct. This time we're not going to just renovation, but we'll construct a treatment and recovery unit, and that will have a counseling and a trauma recovery unit, the recovery housing unit, and a health and a treatment unit. Yeah, kind of. Then the second thing too, there will be some vocational training there too. The third thing, we'll also hope that we get some funding so that it can serve as a startup. Yeah, can. So the initial start, we want to look at 22 persons. Yeah, can. Now this is what we call the infrastructure development. And you know, how would the entire infrastructure look like? So we're talking about dormitory, we're talking about the psychiatric care room, we're talking about the vocational technical training center. Yeah, come down. And yeah, come down. So this is the proposed management structure that we want to have. You know, so we are looking at it from all directions so that it can be something like somebody said, is it for your own political glory? No, there will be a management team, and we are proposing this structure. We can modify it, but we are proposing to have some project director to manage the entire Dillon Foundation project for the Zogo youth. We want to have some director that will be managing the treatment and recovery unit, a director that will manage training, and a director for finance and administration, and a director for monitoring and evaluation, of course, so that we have some proper reporting and accountability process, and we are able to over time evaluate the entire project. So, okay, so there's the proposed facility that we are having. Like you see down there, you have the word dormitory. Each of those buildings that have dormitory OA, they have 100 rooms. So when the appropriate structure is built, you have in every cycle or for 1 year period, taking at least 200 persons, 200 those who refer to as well Zogo or vulnerable youth or from the street, and then bring them in. Now, this vocational and technical school will be able to take more than 200. Should be able to train more than 200 persons. More than 200 persons. So it will offer space for the additional people that will not be taken in, but are just on the street or that just drop off because of school fees or some other stuff. You see, no, go up, go up. But now you see there, so we have an administrative building there, there's a health center there, there's a gymnasium, conference hall, and what have you. So and we are proposing at least 5 acres of land, so between 5 to 10 acres. But the facility fits on 5 acres, and we can have some additional land space, yeah. So there's the back view of the facility. So you're talking about what we want to have for the pilot project. It's a lot of money. But we are saying anything we can start with. If we have at least $30,000, we can start doing something. We can get a facility, and we can start taking at least 10 persons and then start to work with them. So this is what it will take you $1.2+ million to build that facility. To build it. So it is a, like I said, it is an ambition project. It's a very big project that we are looking at. You know, but like you said, where there's a will, there will be a way. So it will take you around this. Yes, come on. Okay, so yeah, so that closes the presentation. And you know, and this is the cash up number that we are using for those in the diaspora, especially in the Americas, so that if you have any contribution, you can accept contribution. We are still improving on what we are working with, but we think if we start, it will get perfect as we go along. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. So, if you look at the project, there are a few things that you know, I just want to run over quick that Martin was talking about as far as the total project cost is around 1.2 million. But that includes the rental, staff compensation, the feeding for all those people. All of that putting together costs around 1.2. Don't be alarmed by the number. If the diaspora, I'm so confident that the diaspora can do it. We can definitely do it. It's about helping our citizens. It's not about Lrtn. It's not about anybody that is in the Liberian Senate, but it's about doing something for our fellow compatriots. So the actual cost is 1.2, but the pilot project, which is the first step of the project, which is, you know, is way less than that. So he just, you know, reminded me about that. But yeah, the senator, you brought a basket?
We have a pilot project that by the time we get home in the next week or two, we want to take 10, 15 women and the children, mothers and the children from the street, the graveyard, and host them in a compound. And that's what we're seeking to do. In order for us to get that done for the year, the cost will be about $30,000 US. That amount will cost us to have something to lease the property, which we already negotiated with the owner to get mattresses, clothes, medical supplies, and everything to make sure that we can start a pilot project with our people, with these mothers and their babies. And as we let them out, after rehabilitating them and getting them to where they should be, we can take another batch. While we're doing a grand project, we want to buy a 10-acre land. Senator Nyomi Kanga, Lawrence, and I, we are working on that to get a piece of property on the Grand Bassa County Highway so that this project would not be in the city center. That we take it far from the city where they don't have access to, you know, yeah, all this stuff. So I just wanted to make that clarification.
Thank you, Senator. And I mean, some of us here that are social workers in here, we got networks. We can even help in covering some of the costs by providing some technical support to it. But if you park outside and you park wrongly, please move your car. You probably got a ticket now, or you're gonna get a ticket because there's police outside. Just to say that. But let's go ahead and start recognizing people. What's Sheriff? What person? One? Yeah. Two? Okay, three. I mean, we have to take it. I can take everybody. Y'all gotta bear with me now. Take it, please. Can we please? All the people selected just now. You know me? Do you know me? I'm ready to go. You know me? What name is by now? I selected. You know me? You know me? You must not meet before? Yeah, man. Hey, I'm going to go. Must stop me go ahead. I don't even know the man. Yeah, my sister go ahead. My man in the thing that please go ahead. And that guy in the black there. I don't know if people are selected just now. Sorry. So if you're here and you want to contribute to anything, please when you as you ask your question, just tell us how much you do or what kind of support you provide to this project. My sister, go ahead. I want to recognize the CEO of Waterside Market, our owner Alfonso, for coming. You are highly welcome, Chief.
All right, our senator, we say welcome. I got a few concerning those of us that actually ship continue to Liberia. Our president said we were not going to be spectators. And some of us have lived in this country for a while and really want to go back home and do business. But every time you ship your container back home, it costs you too much than what you have in the container. Because I remember 2013, when I used to ship container home, I could free the car for $300 to $400. But now I'm freeing cars for over $3,000. Just this one December, I shipped container home and I have to stay there for extra 3 months. And it cost me almost $10,000 to free the container. Now they're asking us to do a tracking number where it's already paid for in America, but we have to pay for it in Liberia again. And then when you get the goods to Liberia, instead of you selling it for $5, you end up selling it for $10 or $15. So I'm appealing to you that when you get back home, to talk for us that want to actually do business. Thank you.
Who was the next person? Yes.
So we know a lot of people leaving, so our sister will carry the basket around. If you guys leave, Father, can I put inside for your big you. Thank you. Honorable Senator, well, welcome to the city of Brotherly Love and Sister Affection. My name is Doug Sayopo, the Esoteric. I'm the host for Voice of Sano in the Diaspora. So if you're from Sano, just to make that, I have a couple of questions. The first one, to objectively judge you after you should have exhausted your first 1 or 2 years in office. I mean, I want to know what sort of plan you ran on. That's number one question. The second one, I want to know, you spoke of the economy, the country is bad up and all of that. I want to know, as a lawmaker, what is your idea to resuscitate the economy? And that's the second question. The third one, with respect to, you spoke of the Zogos, and you said, I mean, if we don't do something about it, it can take over the country, and that's quite alarming. So my question is, with respect to the December 30th protest, do you think it's a good idea for us to go in that direction? And they assume, President, we are steps down. You don't think the sedition will retaliate? So the last question. They're all right now. What else, man? You can talk for that or you won't come here? All right, come, Chief. The person you know me, so can't tell why you know me.
Good afternoon, Senator. My name is Magnus. I'm a student here, so I'm from Liberia. I was there last year, so very soon I'll be joining you guys. So I'm just studying, and I want to say thank you for what you're doing. At least you have united some of us to know that one man can ignite a change in a whole group of people, in a whole population. You are just like a beacon of hope for some of the generations that are coming after you. So, sir, I want you to please, and I pray that God will give you the strength to continue to do what you're doing. So I have one question and a recommendation. So the question first. A few months back, we heard about the high tuition in all of the schools in Liberia. There was public outcry, and the legislature, specifically the Senate, invited the Minister of Education, and there was a hearing. But since then, we don't know what has happened, so we have not heard anything about it. So where are we on that? And then the second question will have to do with, okay, please. Okay, so the second question will be like, you as senator, you are just ending the term left vacant or the seat left vacant by the demise of Senator Geraldine Doe Sharif, and it's just a short term. What would be your most priority? Something that by October next year, you will look at and say, I've done well. What will be your top most priority?
Thank you very much. This broadcast is carried on live by Lrtn. I want to make sure I get it right. Lrtn. And they've been, broadcasting live on Facebook with this thing. So thank you very much for hosting us.
Thank you. President, we have said Liberians will not be spectators in the economy. Right now, Liberians are no longer spectators. They are outside the stadium. When you spectate a league, you can be watching. Right now, they're outside the stadium. They're not even in the stadium.
We in the parking lot.
But the reason is we don't have a strong legislature. My people, for President, we have to sit down here in Natera McGill and put CTN at the Freeport to add additional burden on our people. And the legislature sit down because the Constitution says the legislature has the authority to levy taxes. And the legislature as a majority sit down. And Natera McGill and George Weah as president and Bill Tragway in the port to just do CTN. And the legislature just sits down. My people, George Weah now only problem. The legislature, that is the problem. I would not blame the president, even if he creates the problem. We in the legislature, we the ones that will correct him. And if we can't do it, the man will have free ride. And every time he has free ride, our people suffer. Our people suffer. So, in order for Liberians not to be spectators in the economy, we have a law
in the early 70s, they enacted that law, we call it the Liberalization Act, that restricts certain number of businesses only for Liberians to be engaged with or involved in. When Charles Walker Bronsky was president pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, he did an amendment of that law and increased the items from 17 to 26. He championed that bill in consultation with the business association at the time. So there are 26 businesses on the law, on the books, that restricted to Liberians. Today, Chinese people selling Kuwait. They're selling cool water. Now you see, when you invite the commerce minister to exercise the oversight responsibility, a majority of the members of the Senate or the legislature can go downstairs to welcome the minister. The thing we can do is to shed the light and cause you to make a decision to keep those people in there or remove them with more people of character and courage to fight for you. Until then, the president has violated the Constitution more than any president that we know. You don't hear the legislature even attempt to pronounce the word impeachment? Let me go further. Our election, our senator saved Liberian democracy from this CDC court. 7 senators were on their way to join CDC because they believed that George Weah was so powerful and influential and popular. We won and it stopped them halfway. The country, and some of my friends in CDC, they said, Dylan, that protest vote you won. You get no base. That protest vote. See, I can understand. You understand politics. You know opposition over winning protest vote. Earlier, George Weah, you think George Weah will be president? You think that protest vote made George Weah president? Now we have a president who wants everything. And you have a legislature who majority of members, spineless, greedy, want anything with no remorse. Then you have the kind of country we have. And it's not just with George Weah as president. Ellen Johnson said he was president of Liberia. UP had less members in the legislature. CDC had majority. But Ellen was controlling the legislature. George Weah is president. CDC doesn't have more than 5 senators. UP has 8 senators. Liberty Party now has 4 senators, being me included. And at 12, ANC has 1, the chairman, Daniel Lrtn, at 13. Oscar Cooper, independent, at 14. I can need about 17 of us. Meaning, if we talk about the independent people, lawmakers, parties in opposition that can institutionally condemn the government for doing the wrong thing, that the lawmakers in the legislature can vote for the wrong things. Liberty Party said to remove Cabinet General wrong. When I was senator voted to remove Cabinet General. UP said to move Cabinet General wrong. All UP senators that voted to move Cabinet General. We are problems too. We are problems too. So put those people out, including me, if I violate or betray your trust. Everybody who follow me know that I have special place in my heart for my political leader, Senator Lawrence. I respect the woman. She's straightforward. She got character. She got integrity. She is a mother figure in the Senate. Thankfully, we joined her. But as Senator Kanga did something against the public trust, I will go Gambassa County to tell the people don't vote for her. That how desperate we want change in that place. before it will work for us, for all of us. But as an elder, I will be leading her campaign for her re-election. What plan did I run on? I ran on restoration of hope. Believe in God. Trust Him. Give yourself entirely to God. If you don't believe what He can do. You have a country where elections tend to be about money and fame. You have a country where the president is so powerful and popular. In Monserrato County especially, when we were contesting in Monserrato, all of you heard the president say, unless the Nina George Weah and he president are unaware, they don't win election or Australia, Europe. Right? You have a whole country where people don't believe any longer. But I went in the field believing. We went to the people and said, we came to you for your blessing. We didn't bring money and rest because we don't have it. But even if we had it, we would not bring it because it's disrespectful. You got to change the people's mentality, their mindset, their attitude. You got to change it in order for us to do things positively. We ran on change, restoring hope, restoring faith in our country. We went to a campaign where people say, yeah, my voter ID, I'm not voting, Dylan. Nothing will change. We went to a campaign where people say, my ID, I registered to vote, but I'm not voting. What's the use of voting when we vote for you? You can go and read yourself. The whole country has reached to a point where nobody will believe in again. Everybody is bundled in one basket. Once you're in government, you corrupt. We wanted to do it with distinction. To tell you that there are still good people in Liberia, far better than some of us. But we're not looking for them. We ran on change. I told you, put me in the Senate, anything will talk secret behind you. I will tell you. Sarah became senator, through you, we now have only one secret session. And the day we went to the secret session, they said, you just need a door because he will go talking outside already. Yeah. They call me Chile Pole. I happen to be your Chile Pole. It is you that will represent them. It is you, your interest and aspiration we will be seeking. So, next year, October, what can we look back to say we have achieved? We have shined a light. That light will refuse for it to go off. Somebody asked me, Dylan, hey, you say you are going to put light on. What is light? I said two things. The light is on. Either it's too bright, beaming your eye, or you're blind. Either it's too bright, beaming in your eye, or you're blind. Deliberately. Today, in the Lrtn Senate, we will build blocks. We are building blocks so that we can get a vote for you, for us. Next year, October, when we look back, Dylan, what can you point to? We want to say that when we enter the Lrtn legislature, we gave hope to the country again. The belief system that it can happen. If there is a Dylan, there can be a Nyongli. If there's a Nyongli, there can be any of you in this room. December 30, George Weah stepped down. Will be left to the people to decide. In 2014, those of you who know me, I was sitting by Madam Salif. I was practically like small member in her kitchen cabinet. Her son and I were friends. I was sitting with Madam Salif when Ebola hit Liberia. The Minister of Health, Gwenny Galley, was celebrating his birthday party when people were dying of Ebola. And the president left for office to go to celebrate with Gwenny Galley. That evening, I issued a public statement that Ellie must lead or quit. I was sitting near her and she was feeding me. But I said she should take leadership or quit. And Ellie decided that she would lead, so I dropped the quit. Georgia has an option. Georgia is not better or bigger than Liberia. The Liberian people will decide whether Georgia will remain president after December 13th. Georgia himself will decide whether he want to remain president in a brutal and dictatorial faction with the country fast sliding downhill. And the thing I like about the guy is he has not come to that place where he believes or take the realization that he's president of Liberia and for all Liberians. George Weah believes he's president of CDC for the satisfaction of few citizens to the disgruntlement and disappointment of plenty citizens who still defending him out of shame and traffic, including in Philadelphia. What can we do to revive the economy? I am not an economist. I'm supposed to be a third grade student. No problem. But in the branch of, under the branch of economics, there's a branch known as the politics, the economics of politics, or politics of the economy. Now, here is it. The governance of the state, the governance over the state can also impact the economy. If the governance is bad, the economy will run down bad. Right now, today in Liberia, rule of law, respect for rule of law is almost a thing of the past. It only jives with my comment earlier that good money is a threat of bad environment. The environment is not good. Right now, no investor is attracted to Liberia where the judiciary is not independent and strong. Number one. Two, no investor is attracted to Liberia where it is a precondition that you must go see the president before you go to NRC. If people invest here, they don't even know where Trump living. In Liberia, get down from the airplane, straight to Jamaica Resort. When you move from there, you're going back on the plane, you're not coming back because your experience was horrific. Investors go to Liberia to explore. They come out of there and end up on VOA and BBC. How the president was involved, robbing them. And you expect that other people will go there? No. First, let's have respect for the rule of law. And also, in order for this president to be put in check and respect the rule of law, you must have a strong legislature. Yeah, my friend, Akash Gray. He said, opposition want to print money because we want print money to pay civil servant salaries. You know, I tend to agree with Gray. Let's print money to pay civil servant salary. At least I can take it too. Then we want to fix the roads, we print money. And we want to do the health care delivery system, we print money. We want revitalize the agricultural sector, we print money. And that the CDC on the theory to revive the economy. Stupid. No sense. No wisdom. I don't know how much for the machine to print it. Let you care of No, let's do step by step. Let's restore confidence in the environment. That no matter who you are, I see a lawyer here, and I respect Aloysius Japa. You see, my understanding of the law sitting on Councilor Bromsky and T.C. Gould, my understanding of the law is that the law determines or looks at what is right and or what is wrong. The law does not look at who is right or wrong, because or else, when the law starts seeing, it will be bias. So the law doesn't look at who is right or who is wrong. The law looks at what is right or what is wrong. When the law comes down on what is right, if you're on the right side, you benefit. If you're on the wrong side, you start crying. Now, when we start to apply law in our country, implement laws, right under this room, all of us will agree. Let's take a vote now. Is the government corrupt? Everybody here will agree. Is the Bureau society corrupt? Everybody here will agree. Right in the same room, let a challenge you will get divided when we start naming and going for the corrupt people.
Yeah.
People will start defending their cousin and their partisan and their nephew and their uncle. Right in the same room. Right in the same room. Right in the same room. We cannot have a strong reviving economy when you have people who plunged the economy in the septic tank, stay presiding with no punishment. We sent $25 million US in the name of infusing it to take out Liberian dollars in excess from the market. In the report, said Samuel Twe and his team went to certain foreign exchange bureau and said they exchanged $150,000 US to buy Liberian dollars. The report said when the investigators went to that particular bureau, the bureau said they only got 5,000. The report says Samuel Twe and his people said they went to 10 other bureaus and transacted with almost 2 million. When the investigators went to investigate, they could not find where the bureaus exist in structure. They only on paper. And somebody tells me, with the same people who jack the phone who carry in police station, the police director say they don't want more investigate and we feel comfortable. Yeah. Until we change, we do structural reform at the central bank and change some people from over there. Until the president himself can come up to even dissolve his technical economic committee and replace them with something credible. Look, let's face it, when Ellie became president, some people didn't have sympathy for Ellie. Even myself, who call her the mother of the war, she didn't want her to destroy the country, so let her face it. So even while she was facing it, we didn't have sympathy for her. But Ellie fixed Liberia as president. Ellie took Liberia from the toilet and brought it to the living room in 12 years. It took Georgia less than 2 years to take her back to the toilet. When Ellen named her first cabinet, the country and the world shook and said something is about to happen in Little Liberia. When George we had named the first cabinet, everybody knew what was going. No confidence. No. Some people's first job in their life. Let your first job in your life. Some people's first job in their life, deputy minister. The only qualifying credential were calling on the radio every day. I'm calling for Dome community. They any woman and I'm correct. Job we are the deputy minister. And we are something difficult to happen. And Zegwe, that one was campaigning, they coming behind me with Coco Mesa, he come with fire. I said, no. I come with fire, get a US rate of me, I won't come with solution. Man, our economy is bad. It is terrible. We can fix it with the right frame of mind, the courage to do what is right. Let me say this. President Weah has a redemptive path. If he just wakes up tonight, looks in the ceiling to God, and reflects and say, what have I done? I still have time. I still have time. Let me fight to redeem this, looking only to God. Today the guy is Gatana. Tomorrow he's pastor. Another. He came all over the place. My people. invitation of the Minister of Education. When we became senators, there's something we all agree with that we have oversight responsibility. I repeatedly said, in order for you to, like Councillor Brodsky said to us, in order for you to have the standing to fight corruption, in order for you to have to fight corruption, you who fighting corruption, you should not be corrupt, and you should not be perceived to be corrupt. Then you can fight corruption because people will support you. They say, take for instance, when Gonglo talk about issue of integrity, the whole country can run behind. Because Gonglo has not been proven to be corrupt, and the country perceive him not to be corrupt. Right? So he can talk about issue of integrity. That's what Brodsky taught us. So, in order for you to exercise that oversight responsibility, the person or institution over whom you are about to exercise that authority or that oversight authority should know that you are not corrupt, and that you also perceive and respect that perception that you are not corrupt. The legislature as a body have lost the oversight authority because it is generally held that brown envelope can pass. And I don't know what we can spoil one mean for. 30% in the Senate. If somebody give us 50,000, how much is it all okay? How much? So when we became senator, the thing we did was to go to senator offices, each of them, to say, Senator, the enrollment this year in school has dropped because there's hike in tuition. The Minister of Education is sitting down and doing nothing simply because he's running a school. Conflict of interest. So I'm asking for your support so when I do my communication, we can vote to summon the minister. So we summon the minister. The minister is here. We wanted to know what informing the hike. Last year, Darius Dillon High School charged $100 in first grade for the academic year. This year, Darius Dillon is charging $500 in first grade, the same school. $400 difference. What has informed that increase? We wanted the minister to tell us. Because in order to do that kind of increase, some quality or value must have been added. Did you employ new teachers? Quality teachers, are you increasing their pay? Did you improve or include a library? Are you doing laboratory? What did you do to add value with that would justify the increase? And if the minister or that school cannot justify it, the Ministry of Education has authority to do something about it. Because the law says the Minister of Education will approve every year for schools to operate in Liberia, whether private or public school. And once you have the authority to approve something operating, you have some regulatory authority there. It's not just the approval the law says, but that authority to. So as a result of that action, the Ministry of Education constituted a task force to review these things. And upon our return to session, regular session in January, we'll be expecting that report. But let me close on this. Whilst in America, I'm hearing, because it has not been confirmed through the Senate leadership and in our chat room, I'm hearing that President Weah is recalling us to session. Article 32B of the Constitution is clear. When we are setting for regular session from January up to October, that regular session, we can decide to extend our regular session in order to conclude some issues. Or the president can extend our regular session to conclude some issues. When we close our regular session and go on constituency break, please, my people, they get nothing they call agricultural break. I get farm, plenty of lawmakers get farm. We can't go on agricultural break. We are on constituency break, annual break. When that happens, in order for us to be returned to session, they call it extraordinary session. And it must be for national emergency and concern. And that national emergency and concern must not have existed when we were sitting regularly. It must have been something that happened after we adjourned our regular session. When the president asked us to print money, we were sitting regularly, and we said we'll close our regular session without getting approval to print money until we go back in January to review this thing critically. President, we are can't coming back to session to go talk about the same thing I ordinarily said no to. I will not attend that session. And there are other senators who are prepared not to attend that session. If the majority goes to do it, the record will be clear there that one day in the future, when the rash decision to print money, if it happens, start to take ripple effect on the country, the record will be there that few men and one woman in the Liberian Senate stood up against this, but a spineless majority agreed to improve the suffering or increase the suffering of the people.
Senator, you're strong, man.
Thank you. Integral student, I say I'm integral student today. So I'm not going to take very long. Please, I beg you, 30 seconds. We'll do 3 questions, but please tell us what you do regarding this project. 30 seconds, please. No, Japa, you know. Yeah, I'll give you the opportunity to Japa about. I recognize you, the attorney and the legal luminary in the building, Elisha Japa. You are welcome and happy to see you. Japa, 30 seconds, Chief. Elisha Japa. Lawyer, do you lawyer? Yeah. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this time to thank my brother for the stance you take in Liberia, and I want to congratulate you on your ascendancy as senator. I'll be very brief. I'm a lawyer licensed in New York, and I want to take umbrage with the senator on the issue of the dual citizenship. The proposed amendment to the Liberian Constitution is unconstitutional to begin with. Our Constitution states very, very clearly in Article 18, all Liberian citizens shall have equal opportunity for work and employment regardless of sex, creed, religion, ethnic background, origin, or political affiliation. We want restoration of our citizens' rights, not an aggrieved one. We are not advocating for our rights as citizens because we want visa waiver. We want substantive reinstitution of our rights as Liberian citizens because we have vested interest in our country, as manifested by our presence here, as indicated by the senator's own endeavor to come here to present to us a project that will rehabilitate our brothers and sisters. Article 20 of our Constitution says, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, security of the person. If you restrict your citizen from being ministers, deputy ministers, you can be head of any autonomous scientific or research institution. You can be anything. The only thing you can go to Liberia to be, according to the proposal, is maybe get a job in the private sector, or even if you are highly educated, master, doctorate, you can hold maybe a rank of a director or below. We are talking about a country with significant challenges as presented by the senator. we all know that to move Liberia forward, we need the best brains. So, Mr. Senator, I know we talk